Welcome back to Omnifactory, and it's time our little distillation tower here got a bit of an upgrade. We want to make this taller because we want more than two outputs. These are the two outputs. That's an actual output bus, it's not fluid output. And we need this thing to be able to process more materials, in particular oil. So let's just get started with upgrading that, which is relatively simple. Just get yourself some more clean stainless steel casings, and we'll just build up a couple of layers, and that should do for at least for this episode. We may well want more layers later, but having at least two will be fine. Put a couple more fluid output hatches, and there we go. We got 4 potential outputs. Good. I did get some comments last episode saying we're probably going to need to upgrade these tiny fluid input hatches, because if we have a look at the quests, in mid-game, it says, like for here, noble gases. To break the noble gases into the components will require 53 full loads of liquid air to be processed. So we'll basically need a lot larger size input hatches and output hatches. And luckily, these aren't wasted. You can just take them and you add more materials to them to get to the next tier up. So, you know, that's perfectly fine as it is. And we can upgrade it whenever we need to, which is going to be soon, actually. But let's get started with the the distillation tower, first of all, because we need to be able to get some oil. Now, oil is this oil sands stuff that we got plenty of ore. And as far as I know, for everyone who's watching as well, the oil sands is pretty common as far as the ore is concerned. I also got a system to make HV electrolyzers, and that's because the power supply back here for this distillation tower is HV. So if we just drop you right here, for instance, that should connect, and we've got power, 16k EU in here, and if we put this, it should start processing quite fast. So it is definitely worth upgrading to HV. And you'll see oil is starting to pop out there. Now, oil, in turn, if we just pop downstairs, let's just knock a block through there. We're going to want to select this as the output. So let me just get my wrench from the system. Whoops, wrench, let's get you. And I'm not going to need to input there, I don't think, although that would be kind of neat if we did. No, actually, I'm fine. I'm going to input somewhere else. We're going to be coming from our A2 system. So we just need some ender fluid conduit, really. And so if we just put this down here, bring it out, and we just have to feed it into that block there. That's where I put my fluid input hatch. Everything will be nice and hidden. Where's my Yeta wrench? Because I've just probably put that in the wrong place. Oh, well, I could put it... Whoops. Oh, now I've definitely put it in the wrong place. Oh, my. Yep, let's go this way, and we'll just go through. This is input on green. This one is going to be output on green. And all was active. Okay, so let's see whether that is already enough to get this started. It doesn't look like it started. I think I've connected power. It's usually power. I forget on these things. Let's just take a look. You're idling. Do you have power and everything else? You do have power, which means it's probably just a matter of hitting this fluid output button. And hopefully that is going to start depleting. Not yet. Why aren't you going anywhere? Idling? No. Huh. Is there anything even going into this? Let's have a look. It's definitely inserting, right? Ah, fermented biomass. Somehow... Oh, yes, because now I remember. When I built this thing, I basically built it to... what do you call it? I built it to test something. I tested out creating... what was it? Water and acetic acid. And that's no good. So the whole thing is blocked. That's something we have to watch out for as far as this thing is concerned. So if I just go up here for a second, if I just knock that block out, and if I just rebuild it again, where is it? Fluid input hatch, right there. Are you now filling it with oil? You are, good. Okay, so that thing should kick on. It has, which is a good sign. And how... Well, it looks like that's processing quite quickly, doesn't it? Although it says 75% in front of me, it seems to be going through a lot of 75%. Yeah, there it goes. So sulfuric heavy fuel, we've got sulfuric light fuel, sulfuric naphtha, and sulfuric gas. Okay, well, you imagine we're probably going to make sulfuric acid with all of that at some point. However, to get this first quest done, you need all of those in buckets. So, easiest way to just do that is just to grab some tanks. I mean, you can just put lots of buckets through, but I've got one bucket and many tanks. So we can just put 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's put that through. That's enough for you and for you. And you and you. Okay, so then we'll just put those out on the floor. It's a gas, so it gathers near the top. I still love that they actually did that, even though the gas may be heavier than the air we're actually are breathing, so it may well shouldn't be on the top. It should be on the bottom if that happens, but yeah, let's not go there. Yeah, so we can just basically grab one of each and put it straight back in. There we go. That was easy. And get 5 omnipennies, which is terrible. Start off by running the raw oil through a distillation tower. That will result in you getting all these different materials. Good. You need to come up with a system to sort and store these liquids, whether it's manual handheld tanks, a system of multi-block tanks, or digital fluid storage. I think I'm going to go for more digital fluid storage because the system encourages it, and after a certain point, it's just easier. All these quests now open up. So we get from sulfuric naphtha to regular naphtha by adding hydrogen to it in a chemical reactor. Okay, and we know we've already can get hydrogen from other places, but that will get us naphtha. And let's go back for a second, and then take a look. So, have it all done by adding hydrogen? Yeah, let's take a look in a chemical reactor. So it's hydrogen, sulfuric, and we get light fuel and hydrogen sulfide out of it. I presume it's hydrogen sulfide for all of them, which we can then dump into electrolyzer to get sulfur dust and hydrogen back out. So we'll basically get an excess of sulfur dust from this whole process. And the hydrogen we can loop back around. Electrolyzer, we can probably go with something like an MV tier 1, but let's just take these for now, because I'm going to want to make more digital storage. And this is, we've already got like another 14 buckets, 4 buckets, 15 buckets. It clearly doesn't take very much at all in this electrolyzer to actually start going. So we can set a few things up. I guess we're going to need a chemical reactor, and I think we've already got some of those. Yep, I've got a few advanced chemical reactors. And an electrolyzer would be good. Let's just get a couple more refined circuits on the go. Yep, because we're going to need those. And I think that's pretty much it. I need to probably put some stuff away, and then we'll go and get it sorted. What I need to do first of all is make sure that oil sands is sort of, we've got more oil sands to actually work with. So let's just take the Oilsands Ore. And was it just a macerator? Because if we have a spare macerator uses, yeah, what I'd like to do, I think, is get a macerator, not a basic one, HV tier, and this is, well, no, that's fine, because that's going to go straight into the, yeah. So if we just ask for you, what do you need? A gold cable, yeah, I need to make that, and some more tier 3 circuits and a wrench, but that's because this is not out of the system. So yeah, I need a few more things. But yeah, if I put the HV tier next to the existing, which machine is it out there again? I've forgotten already. Unusual. Electrolyzer. Yeah. So if we just put the next tier up out here, so the macerator, the electrolyzer on top of each other, and then on top of that, just like an export bus or something from the system for the Oilsands Ore, then that system should start filling up quite quickly with the oil products, essentially. So from that, we're going to need to then, do all the rest of the processing to get to all these other types of buckets. Is there anything else? Hydrogen sulfide, gas turbine. Ooh. Sulfuric gas is converted into refinery gas by adding hydrogen, just like the other things. Yep. And you can just burn it for power inside of a gas turbine. However, you can manually improve the amount of power by centrifuging the refinery. LPG. Yeah. Not going to worry about LPG just yet. And this acetic acid is something we can already make as well. So there's plenty of quests over here we can do. It's mainly heading us towards diesel, however, and what I'm not pronouncing that. Epichlorohydrin? Just a guess. Anyway, we'll get to that and we'll bring you back once I've built machines. So we're just going to swap out what this was, a conductive iron cable. Oh, that's terrible again. Can I not? Well, wow, I didn't know you could do that. You can separate it with a wrench. Okay, that's nice of me to find out now this stage of the game, I guess. Anyway, let's just grab our steel pickaxe. And I must make a better tool for this. Anyway, the atomic deconstructor isn't in the pack, is it? Atomic No. Oh, such a shame. I love that tool. Anyway, aside from me reminiscing about stuff, let's get rid of this CEF LV. And we're going to just replace it with the CEF MV. And that should get everything working. So let's just get you here. And that's going to work. We just need some energetic alloy cable, 1, 2. And we're going to work perfectly fine. Let's get back here. There we go. And we can cover the rest of this in, I think. Let's put you away. Yeah, that'll work well. I think I've got the system crafting up some more cable, energetic. And that will do. 3 more cable, at least to start with. Probably need a little bit more than that, but fine to start. Okay, and then on the left and right sides, then we'll do the usual sort of thing. That's actually one too far back, isn't it? This thing should be facing upwards, not outwards. Need to just correct that. There we go. And then back here again. Let's get rid of this. Do it off camera. There we go. Much better, much neater. So on the front of that, I'm just going to put in some chemical reactors. Whoop, 4 of them. And hopefully that's going to be enough for now. Also on this side, I have hooked up the an advanced macerator. I already built one last episode. Sorry, a universal macerator over there. So I didn't need to actually build another one in the system. This is going to actually just take an export bus. So let's just grab that. Are you not finished yet? I thought I'd asked it to make an export bus. Did I not? Can you not craft one? Oh, that's probably why. Small aluminium gear. Yes, I know what I was crafting. Aluminium. I just wanted to basically get this and then a hammer just to make a few of those gears. Yes, I know we can use an extruder to make them. I just end up making a few with a hammer. It's just an easy thing to do. And now the export bus can go there. Yeah, I can just make one. And we'll just export basically this stuff, which is automatically going to get output. Once I turn that on, into this machine, which is automatically going to get turned into oil. Ooh, crushed Oilsands Ore. Is that what actually? Wait a second. It's not direct. Yeah, we're going to need to go intermediary for that because there's other ingredients that gets output. I only want one thing down here, so I'm going to have to move things 1 up. No big deal. And anything else that comes out of this, we'll just basically put back into the system. And every time I move machines like that, I always remember Industrial Craft 2 and it just breaking machines. I'm so happy that doesn't happen in this pack because I would invariably break them. Let's just see. I need some gold cable, don't I? Gold? Not cold. Gold? Gold cable. Just 1 will do us. There we go. And then we can decide by putting filters in here with just Ender IO conduits, etc., item conduits. And what we'll probably do is get a filter for those. We want an Ender IO filter, not anything else. Basic item filter will do the job. And we need a hopper for that. So let's just craft, I don't know, 10 hoppers or something. You still need a wrench. Can I put my wrench back? Yeah. Let's just craft 10 hoppers. We always need them for something or other, so we may as well. Oh, there we go. And we can just put that in straight away. So in here, on the insert side, we're going to put a whitelist to say only accept Oilsands Ore. And this is also going to be set to a higher priority. And we're not going to be able to extract. And then on this, we are going to extract and extract always active. And then from here, if we put this in, it should already work. And then anything else extra, we could just print like a print. Well, yeah, I guess we are printing. Just get it in the chest. Just the default ender chest. We don't need to do anything else, and that'll go back into our system. We pretty much have... Yeah, need some steel. I guess we can just put it back into the system by putting it into a crate and then just importing it from a crate. So that'll do the same job. Yeah. Let's put a crate down. And do I want it here? No, I probably want to just put it at the side for a second. And this will be a lower priority. Insert. Are you outputting? It's already outputting. And there it goes. So it's going to try and input oil sands into here when it can. This is going to immediately get used up. And is this system finished with that export bus for me now? Export bus, no, it is not. It is still crafting iron plates, which I may have just sort of blocked with by making... Hang on, didn't I just tell it to... Oh, that is just a hopper job. Why can it still not make the export bus again? It can now. Good. Okay, so that can work. We just put the cable back for you. And one more cable. And then that's that hooked up. Then we can go over to the other side of things. And once that's done, we can then go over here and then configure this side of things. So for here, whatever we want for the oil sort of quests, we can put through here. So naphtha is basically us adding hydrogen to everything in this stack. So if we have one for each individual product, we probably want a fit for one just to generate hydrogen or just rob it from somewhere else. I think I've got hydrogen in one of these. I've got a feeling it's this one. Yeah, plenty of hydrogen and oxygen. We can grab it or we can transport it. Either way, it's being pulled out of here on the cyan channel. Active with signal, of which I think I just disabled that for the moment because it has a filter down here, I think, to try and void stuff, but we don't necessarily need that. So if I just get another universal macerator, what was it, electrolyzer? Do I have the electrolyzer? Another one. Electrolyzer. Electro. We want... To be honest, I want a HV one. Can you build one? Probably just going to sort of... electron wire. Yes. So it can build one. And what I might do is just a dedicated hydrogen source on here, put it on the top, and then have a a fluid trash can on top of it that just absorbs the oxygen. All the hydrogen will then just dump into here, into the input side, and the output side will get the clean products out, and then we'll have that byproduct that we can then reprocess. And that's what the last chemical plant's going to... the last chemical reactor is going to be. Let's just double check that. So if we put this through a chemical reactor, hydrogen sulfide, it has to go through an electrolyzer, not a chemical plant. Although we could chemically react it with oxygen to get water and sulfur dioxide, or go with water and get sulfuric acid. Yeah. Either way, depends which one we actually need. Anyway, I'm going to build the rest of that and bring you back in a second. Okay, the things I wanted to get built are now built. I've been cleaning up the fluid storage, which is down there, those bottom four. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types available now before I need to expand the system. I've got it over here. It's running right now. There is oil processing through. That's basically importing all of it into our system. Behind here, that is naturally feeding through, and this is not building up because this is being exported back into our system as well. Good. We may we'll run out eventually with only 5,000, and we're not actively going getting more of the Oilsands dust at the moment, but Oilsands Ore even. But that will work fine. Over here, then we just want to then put in our fluid export buses, and we'll configure them. I did change over this hydrogen thing, not to actually just be blocked and really do the deuterium. We'll get the deuterium by other ways soon enough. Instead, we're having this export to our system, and again with a fluid input bus, so I can now export hydrogen and the fluid I want, except that there's only one slot. So instead, you're going to want to just craft a few capacity cards and put one capacity card in each one of these, and that will expand the number of fluids you're allowed to input into each block. So we just need some samples now from, we need that from our system. So let's just go over here and let's get, I'm not going to use buckets. Let's just use fluid tanks again, because I can always put them back into the system again. We need 5. So let's just grab hydrogen first of all. Okay. And then sulfuric heavy fuel, sulfuric light fuel, sulfuric naphtha, and where is the gas? Sulfuric gas. There it goes. Getting used to this thing. Still a little bit odd. So in here, in each one of them, we're going to want to export hydrogen. That's always the case. And then one of whichever... Oh, actually, that's not the right gas. I've already put the initial tanks in here, so I want it to fill with whichever one of these is appropriate. Sulfuric acid and hydrogen. Yep, that'll do. And that is filling. Good. So this one is the naphtha. So let's just grab that. And again, the hydrogen. This one is our light fuel. So light fuel and hydrogen. And the top one must be the heavy fuel. Good. heavy fuel, and hydrogen. Okay, so that's that configured. For the time being, I can just dump the extra in here. So if we just get rid of this sulfuric gas, there that goes, and the naphtha is next up. So dump all of this in there, light fuel, and the heavy fuel. Okay, so clearly, well, we already added hydrogen out of our system. Let's just go and take a look. Hydrogen. No. Okay, we're building hydrogen. Why is it not outputting it all over here? Hydrogen should be building up. Maybe it's just blocked and doing this sort of round robin style. It's trying to fill the sulfuric gas before it actually moves on to hydrogen, maybe? I wouldn't have thought so, but seems to be doing that. Regardless, once that's done, it should start filling it with hydrogen too, and that will work very well for us. So let's just get all of those done. And then we just need to basically export this, but for the time being, or at least to get started, we'll again just be able to grab those fluids with our fluid tanks and just get the rest of the buckets to get ourselves all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these quests, because we should get hydrogen sulfide out of it as well. Oh, there it goes. It's starting to process. So yeah, we can get those out of here. So again, we'll just grab our various different materials. We'll get hydrogen sulfide. We'll get some naphtha. That's not started yet. We'll get some heavy fuel and some refinery gas. Okay. And that's pretty much it until this one starts processing. We need the light fuel for that. And do I have any hydrogen? I don't think I have any hydrogen yet. I could move it manually. So we'll just come back. I'll go and get all the buckets sorted out, and we'll get those quests. In fact, let's just put them down now. So anything with stuff in it, we can just pop down. So you are full. Refinery gas. There it goes. And we just need one more, don't we? Have you started yet? You have. Okay, that's good. Was it light fuel? Yeah, it was light fuel we needed. So, light fuel. Good. Where's my bucket? I want more quests. Yep, hydrogen sulfide. Come on. Yep. And if I just exchange these, hopefully it will have detected them all, and we'll just get them in sequence. So, yep. Go back here, and they're all lit up. Good. Diesel. What's the next thing for diesel? Diesel, a popular choice for primary power source in the mid-game. La 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 la. While many of the liquids from previous steps could also potentially burn for energy, it's far more efficient to turn them into diesel before burning them. And while nitro diesel is even better than diesel, it takes so many extra next steps, it might be wise to stop here, at least for now, and tackle nitro diesel later. Okay, so MV mixer to make diesel, but once you have one, you just need to combine light fuel and heavy fuel in a 5-to-1 ratio. So to be honest, if they're both going into the system, if we just put, you know, ME fluid import buses here, fluid import, can we just grab like 4 of them? I may be short on stuff. Yeah, I need some lapis plates and some pure nether quartz. That's fine. But if I just put them straight back into the system, we can just output them into a mixer somewhere and have them combine into diesel. Okay, that should now be done. So I've got the capacity card in this mixer. We can just dump in some light fuel and some heavy fuel. Now the system doesn't have any of that yet, so I'm just going to simulate this by putting it back in. This is the 2 tanks here. And that should immediately start mixing out here somewhere. Once this actually is figured out. Light fuel and heavy fuel. It's not got a 5-to-1 ratio yet left yet. It is actually exporting, I think. But it just may take it a little while to do that. There it is. It is still exporting. Good. So that should trigger once it's finished and should give us some diesel on the other side, on this side of things. And we'll check back in that in a second. So that's pretty good. What do I need to get this? So I'm going to need fluid import buses for 4, 5, probably 6 of these. And that's going to need stuff I probably don't have. Fluid import buses, 5, 6. Yeah, it's just the nether quartz now. I've made the rest of it. So yeah, pure nether quartz crystal as normal. And there's our 1 bucket of diesel. Hopefully that should get us the quest. Yep, there we go. And we basically have fuel at this point. So this will, once we just collect all of this other miscellaneous quests, this basically lets us get a new power source entirely. We can run our base on diesel if we want to. Now, I may not do because our diamond power, to be honest, is pretty good. However, it can run diesel just fine. Let's just see if there is a direct diesel generator. There probably is. Diesel generator. Yep. Voltage out is 128 or HV. So if you want a HV tier, just running directly for GregTech, you can make it. And this is stuff we've already made before. I don't think I'm going to power it now on diesel, but maybe you guys can weigh in. Is diesel actually worth switching to? Because this is pretty good so far. We've got 2 of these running, and it's outputting, what, 7K probably split between 2 of them? Yep. So, yeah, we were perfectly fine with that. But for those of you who want to have a diesel chain, you have one available. That just means a couple more things for me, and then we should be done there. We just need to handle this hydrogen sulfide and loop everything else around. So I need to go and sort that one out. Okay, final couple of bits then. We just need to put the electrolyzer in place. So that's going to go right there. And that's going to process basically all these materials that we were not going to process, including the hydrogen sulfide. So let's just get another fluid output on this side, and on this side we're going to be the, fluid input I should say on that side, to the machine that is. And let's just pull out of that side. Good. And everything is being controlled by AE2, which actually makes this a little bit easier. Another capacity card. And then actually I can just pick this up, can I, and use that as a filter. And let's just double check. So we want hydrogen sulfide. And that's going to be producing hydrogen and sulfur dust. Now the downside to this is that's 2 different materials, 2 different directions. How am I going to get the stuff out of that? That's going to be interesting. Anyway, problem for another day. Comments down below. I may need to just move it to actually get to more than one output. Regardless, let's get that sorted just by putting in the stuff here. Hydrogen sulfide. And in fact, we don't even need the capacity card for this, because it will just do with 1. And that's the electrolyzer. Once that gets to enough, it will then start producing. We'll output the fluid to the right hand side, which will be hydrogen, which the system can use. We could dump that, to be honest. We're getting hydrogen basically for free from water over there, so it's not like it's going to be huge. So I might want the... Can we actually just tell it to dump the fluids? We probably can't. I would like the sulfur dust anyway, but we'll do that next episode or something. Maybe I can just pull it from the front. Can never remember whether we can actually do that or not, but or put a robot arm in or something like that. Anyway, we're starting to get sulfur dust, and that's starting to process the hydrogen sulfide that's being produced by all of these. And we're going to get hydrogen back out. So let's just actually, for the moment, just export the hydrogen, and that will keep everything going. That should start draining. Yep, it's draining. And then this will fill up the sulfur dust eventually, but our system is pretty much doing everything now. So it's seeing full production of diesel from heavy and light fuel. What can we do with a naphtha? That's going to be useful. I'm almost sure it is, but I can never remember what it is. Naphtha, I can never actually spell the thing. Sulfuric naphtha goes into regular naphtha, which can be turned into, I'm not pronouncing that. Epoxy resin, so glue basically, or fancy glue. Hydrocracked naphtha, steam cracked naphtha, so they will get churned into butane, propane, ethane, and methane. Okay, so yeah, there's plenty of uses for that. Indeed, you can even just put it in a diesel generator and burn it if you actually wanted to get rid of the excess. However, our system is sort of struggling in terms of the actual materials. We've got like a few types left, so I think I'm going to make another ME drive, and we'll just have a separate ME drive just for our fuel storage, or our fluid storage. You'll see here there's a bunch of different fluids building up. We've got fluid diesel building up to 27 buckets and carrying on there. So I hope you've considered this fully demonstrated, and if you want to have a diesel powered system, you can run it off fluid output, distillation tower, 5 high total, and then 6 machines, 4 chemical reactors, an electrolyzer, and a mixer. And that will get you everything you actually need to do for this. And it's all medium voltage tier. You can, of course, build high voltage tier, but, and the other couple of machines back here, but that's just to produce, get the stuff from oil sands. Alternatively, you can get your oil from other methods, but it all ties into the same system. So that's pretty much diesel generation, and you can do that in your own world if you want to run things off diesel. Otherwise, I think I'm done here.
So if you enjoyed the episode, give it a thumbs up. We're more than happy to see any comments down below on improvements, suggestions, and of course corrections. And we'll see you next time for some more Omnifactory. As always, guys, thanks for watching.